Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Gore Call in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today, happy to have him back, Jason Williams. He's the CEO of Kidoz Inc., trades in Canada under the stock symbol KIDZ. Gotta love that stock symbol. And in the US under KDOZF. For those new to the story, here's what you need to know and why it's so exciting. The company owns the biggest mobile advertising platform for kids and families. How big? There are more than 4,000 apps around the world right now using Kidoz to reach over 300 million kids. And they're working with some of the top brands, including Disney, McDonald's, Hasbro, Lego, and a trusted partner of both Apple and Google, because if you're in their app store serving content to kids, you've got to be a trusted partner. That's translated to massive revenue growth. Back in 2017, $1.9 million in revenue. 2021 last year, $12.4 million in revenue, up 74%. Why is all that happening? Well, the massive trend. Kids are abandoning TV. They're watching TV less than 50% of what they used to in my time. And as a result, they're seeing ads on mobile, and Kidoz is leading the way. And on top of that all, their market's growing due to landmark legislation come out of California. Let's talk about that in the business. Jason, welcome back, my friend.
Great to see you. Thanks, George.
Hey, before we get to this landmark law, the change that just came out of California, let's first talk about your normal course issuer bid, which is better known as a share buyback. Given the macro environment that's going on in the world right now, a bit of inflation, recession, companies are feeling the squeeze a little bit. Why'd you pick this time to do a share buyback when some might say, hey, just conserve your cash?
Right. Good question. I mean, for us, we want to provide some stability in the market. We know that our business is just on a great run, and we've got the capacity to entertain pulling some of those shares out of the market. Like I said, improving liquidity, providing a little bit of stability, and retiring those shares. We think and really know the company is undervalued at these current prices, and we think that's the best use for our investors and to get the stock moving in the right direction.
And that says a lot, because typically tech companies that are growing so fast would use their money to keep growing. So clearly you're not concerned about growth and you feel you've got that extra cushion. What does that say about the strength of the company's finances, despite the fact that a lot of advertising based companies like Snap, even Google, have had some real problems this year in the macro environment?
Yeah, well, I mean, our niche is very strong. We've got plenty of new tech coming out. We've got the resources we need. We've done the hiring that we need. We continue to hire, but our working capital is healthy, and we feel this is the right way to return value to the shareholders, and that's what we're doing. Let's
talk about this landmark California ruling. So I'm going to summarize it like this: in order to market to minors without data, they've raised the age from 13 to the age of 17, which for me, I did a quick calculation, is a 31% growth. How big of an accelerant, because you actually use the term accelerant in your press release, how big of an accelerant is that to your top and bottom line for the next decade?
It's fantastic. I mean, there are so many ways to kind of carve this up as something beneficial to kiddos. And so like in the near term, we've seen an increase in adoption of the technology. We have many, queries coming in from different advertisers. How are we going to do this? How are we going to handle this? And, this is just directly in line with exactly what we do. We offer media to millions of people without that data tracking, and that is precisely in line with this new legislation. And beyond the kind of near-term advantages to kiddos, this is setting the stage for other states to follow, other countries to follow. It's a model that's now out there. It's got a timeline, it's ticking. And for us also, the platforms are clearly watching, and the platform's rules are what the apps follow. And when those rules begin to change and begin to tighten for all apps, Kidoz is there with the leading technology to offer safe in-app media to millions of apps.
And let's not forget that California is home to, it's not just any state, right? California is home to all these many of these tech giants. Facebook, Google's there, There are a lot of them. I don't know all of their domiciles off by heart, but and as Cali goes is how the world goes, right? Because when Europe came out GDPR, the privacy, the rules, California came out with theirs, everyone started to follow. So do you expect this, do you expect the rest of America, North America to follow not too far behind?
I mean, Europe has always been on the leading edge, and they've put in some strong rules, obviously, with their GDPR. In terms of kids, the UK is right on the edge of putting out a whole new bill to protect it at higher ages and other aspects of protection. And we, definitely see this rolling out. And again, like, there's a period where the platforms are followers. They're going to follow that legislation. They're going to piecemeal it across different territories. But once it becomes fully adopted that this is the correct way to handle media to children, which is not data tracking them, not putting them through these databases, not exposing them to media which is not suitable for them, which is the correct way, then the platforms will lead rather than follow. And then Kidoz is in an excellent place because we are the solution to that problem.
I mean, I guess you guys knew this was coming, but or maybe you didn't. No,
well, we knew
that
we know where the trend is, right? And we knew, of course, that there was pending legislation, but the same trend that's been happening since 2015 when we started the business is that kids should not be exposed to data tracking. Kids should not be exposed to non-relevant or infringing scary ads. And, there's a way to do that properly. And that's what we developed, and that's what we own. And that's what, many companies and thousands of apps are using today, and they're monetizing just great. And kids have a safe experience, and kids aren't data tracked. And that's the way it should be. And there's no changing that as far as I can see. So the trend just continues.
How much of an impact, like instant, does that have on your pipeline? Does the phone almost start ringing immediately? Because here's George Com, I'm marketing to teenagers, 15, 16, 17 years old.
Right.
Suddenly the rules change and I can't do what I was doing before, but man, I got to protect my business.
Right.
Am I calling Kidoz right away saying, guys, help me get there because my old way is done?
There's a timeline on it for people to digest and for them to understand what that means. So definitely the phone is ringing. It doesn't change revenue numbers today, but it changes the trajectory of the business from an adoption and then a pipeline and then the percentage of impressions and that we're exposed to and the percentage of impressions that we can fill. And all of those trends are positive because of a ruling like this. So I would say there's way more in the medium and a huge amount in the long. The short is fantastic because it's just more proof of what we're saying, that the trend is firmly behind us and it's not going to change.
And not just pipeline, but enterprise value.
Exactly.
It must be a huge boost.
Enormous.
Now. If I was potentially looking at Kidoz, I'm a bigger company. Now I'm looking at you even stronger, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, there are plenty of conversations being held in that regard. And something like this is just huge validation of what we're doing. And so like, absolutely, there's a game-changing aspect to this. And there are companies who were maybe not within that circle of, hey, this is an avenue we could go, that are now within it because it's so clear, because maybe they're not as techie, maybe they're more media, maybe they're in a couple other industries which have exposure, but ads is booming. I mean, we see different companies getting in on ads and they're, suddenly there's $1 billion of revenue there and now they're tripling down. And Kidoz is an exciting opportunity for that because we own a very important and high growth niche.
And not just being biased as an investor, but I got to say hats off to California for actually protecting kids, because it seems like the world has almost been trying to expose kids to more and more stuff and have them grow up so quickly. That's really great. I mean, I've got a 14-year-old daughter. It's really great to see this. So hats off to California. You had revenue guidance of $18 to $20 million. And I talked about your revenue growth, which is outstanding from 2017. So you guys had guidance from $18 to $20 million for the year. But the world has been going through inflationary inflation and therefore recessionary problems. So
Yes.
you're not completely immune to that. You made a slight adjustment to your revenue guidance of taking it from 18 to 20 now to 16 to 18. But
Right.
that still represents 35% year-over-year growth, which is fantastic. When the
Yeah.
rest of
Thanks.
the world's actually falling, including Google and Snap and Facebook and Twitter, all of their numbers are dropping. You're growing 35%.
Yeah, we saw, I mean, coming through Q1, we were holding on to that, and even in Q2 there, but we've seen that trajectory come off when the world started to change, and some advertisers were getting a little bit shy. And so we feel it's appropriate to revise that. We're hoping it's going to be on the higher end. That said, we're in the heart of Q3 now and coming into Q4 when Kidoz does 75% of its yearly business across the second half, and things are going great. The team is busier than ever. They're super engaged. We had some record days for the month of September. And I would say, we're super enthusiastic. Obviously, any adjustments are not what we want to be doing, but we want to be realistic for where this trajectory is going to take us. And, I just want to pat the team on the back rather than saying anything negative. I mean, these numbers are
No, you get 35% year-over-year growth.
right.
Any business be happy with that, let
Exactly.
alone all your competitors or your peers are actually falling and laying people off and trying
Right.
to find a way. So I think that's just phenomenal. But Q3, Q4, you're saying looks pretty good because Q4 is
It's feeling really
we're
strong.
10 days away from Q4
We
starting.
are, and it's we're
Thanksgiving,
feeling,
Halloween, Christmas,
Yep.
all those holidays around that.
Yeah, no, and the bookings are coming in, almost faster than the systems can process them, and that's exciting to
Nice.
see. And yeah, we're super excited to see the more records fall and more records be set, and we're already doing that this month, so it's
Yeah,
great.
you almost sound like Amazon or Alibaba when they
Right.
say when they have those Prime days, or I forget what they call them
Yeah,
over
sure.
when they say we had more orders than our system could process. That's
That
it's amazing, right? You can have a slight revenue adjustment to the downside and still laugh and be happy about it, which is just
Absolutely.
fantastic.
No, we're in a fortunate position, and as a leader of the group here, it's a great place to be, and I'm thrilled with what the team's doing. It's funny, this business too, like we put in so much work in the first half, just advancing the systems and advancing the tech, but the ops systems as well, to be able to handle increased orders and better processes and everything. And all that work is paying dividends right now because we're able to do more with more people too, but less. Each person is booking more for that one person.
More productivity.
Exactly. It's just increased across the board.
And more good news, you're remaining, despite the adjustment, you're remaining EBITDA positive.
Right. And that's always our goal. We've been a company that's growing out of a profitable position. And once we hit that profit number, that's always been our goal to use our resources in a way that match the growth trajectory, not get ahead of ourselves, and make sure that we are profitable for the year. And that's still our goal, and nothing's showing us that that's not going to happen.
And you know what, 2 years ago, maybe you didn't have to worry about that as much because everyone's putting a lot of value on growth, but all you got to
Right.
do is take a look at stocks like Netflix,
Right.
down 75%, Shopify, I don't know how far they've dropped,
Right.
Peloton, right? It's all these big names with big top line growth.
Yeah.
Suddenly, like they say, when the water goes out, you see who's been swimming naked.
It's
And
true.
these companies are getting punished now. So you guys
Right.
being EBITDA positive on top of that, just what a stellar company. There's no other way
Yeah, no, it feels good. I mean, when you're an entrepreneur and you're out there hustling for capital and stuff for a long time, it sure feels good to know that that you've got the resources that you need and that you have a profitable company. And even in these conversations that we're having, you say, oh yeah, well, we're profitable, so that doesn't matter. And people are like, wow, that's amazing. So good for you. And it's exciting for everyone involved.
Whatever may be happening in the economy, a lot of people talk about potential recession next year. So we're in for about 12 or 18 months of chop, right?
Yeah.
We've seen how you guys just this year, for example, can't say about next year, but are handling it really well. But the bigger picture is this: people forget, we're going to go through, everyone's going to go through a little bit of chop, but the global mobile advertising market is projected to grow from about 100, let's call 150 billion today, I'm just rounding up, to 600 billion before the end of the decade. So it's still set to quadruple. I mean, the story just gets better and better for Kidoz, right? Because you're just going to this massive growth market that's almost looks unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, digital has been moving so quickly, mobile has been moving so quickly, and it's just, there's no replacing the mobile device for people in their lives or their entertainment or their consumption in any way. And it's just becoming more and more predominant, and more money is moving off of TV. And we're capturing that and more than our share. And that's fabulous. And we're even doing things strategically now to increase our ability to capture more margin and make a bigger footprint for Kidoz in the most important markets. So, we're building right now a stronger US sales strategy, which is going to involve more people for Kidoz selling directly and engaging with those clients directly, which is going to bring us more opportunity to kind of raise the profile of Kidoz, not just as a B2B player, but as someone that has those direct kind of conversations with the biggest brands and the leaders in kids entertainment and kids media and kids toys, which are all the segments that we're hitting. And that's going to be big things for 2023 as we push that strategy.
You've got the top line growth. You got the apps using Kidoz growth. You've got the legislation now as a beautiful tailwind out of California. You got the global macro market, the global advertising market set to quadruple.
Right.
It looks like there's nothing but clear skies ahead for you guys, Jason. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys must get up every day and say, hey, someone may buy us one day, or we'll just keep making money into this market because all the winds at our back.
Yeah. And I mean, that is the thought in some ways too, which is like, we know that should the right deal come, then, a tech company's dream is to be bought. And that's just the lay of the land. That's how it goes. But if we're not bought, we just know that tomorrow's price is X amount higher, and they're still going to get an even, a larger slice of what we're doing today. So it just depends when somebody wants to pull that trigger. And that's the way we see it. So we're entertaining conversations, and we'll see where they go. And we know that whoever does want to drop Kidoz within their strategy for the next however many years, that it's a big winner and they're going to own a huge and important segment.
Look, I can only speak from my own experience, how I think as an investor. I'm certainly not putting words in Kidoz mouth, that's for sure. But the fact of the matter is, any acquirer, any partner, or any JV company out there that might potential opportunity out there can only look at you guys with even brighter light now, because when the world is having real problems with inflation and recessionary issues, you guys are holding steadfast, right, and you're real rock in a market that's only growing. So congratulations, Jason, to you and your team. I mean, it's amazing what you guys are doing, and I can't wait to have you back, because every time we have you back, you got more and more great stuff to talk about.
Yeah, no, it is fun, and it's always great coming on. So thanks for having us, George. And watch this space. Plenty of exciting things coming, great numbers coming, and look forward to the next one.
Well, look, like I said, I got amongst other kids, I got a 14-year-old daughter, and they're all here, they're all playing, they're not watching TV.
Yeah,
right.
I'm aware.
They're playing, they're doing stuff on their phone, they're playing, they're doing stuff on their phone, they're playing with apps, they're sending out videos. It's all there. And every time I see that, I just picture a Kidoz logo over all of them. So congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
To everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcasts on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform. To Jason Williams, is the CEO of Kidoz Inc., trades in Canada under KIDZ. Gotta love that symbol. For friends in the US, KDOZF. For those new to the story, because you see the headline number and wondering, hey, who's this company that's going to do $16 to $18 million this year? It's Kidoz. Do your due diligence, get to their profile page on the Agoracom, because we know not all of you are familiar with mobile advertising, let alone mobile advertising for families and kids. So go take a look at the profile. We got it neatly laid out and explained for you. And then once you've got that information, and that knowledge base. Head over to the Kidoz website, do your deep dive due diligence, and hopefully today you discovered your next amazing small cap technology company. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. See you next time.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.